Welcome back, and I've got another update for you. To demo this, I'm going to start out on the evade tree, so we can see these ships are evading. And what I've created is a system where you can have a player, and the player can possess controllables, and these ships inherit from the controllable interface. So if I hit C, I can take control of the ship. Now, most of the work was setting up this camera system. And so first thing I did was added the crosshair behind this menu to be centered in the screen. And so now I have a generic HUD class that I can add custom widgets and textures and things that are defined in OpenGL rather than this ImGui tools UI stuff. So I added that, and then I added the camera. The first feature is that you can scroll out, scroll in, and control. If you notice, when I turn the camera, the ship doesn't immediately turn. So that's another feature. There's a little delay. Initially, it actually was locked to the camera, and I'll show you, I can still make that happen, but it felt like a really cheap camera system. And just adding this little bit of delay to the turn adds actually a whole lot to the feel of the camera. And so another feature that I added is the ability to force your controlled target to fire. So I can actually make these ships shoot now. Another thing is that I added the ability to roll. So you can now roll this ship. Well, you can roll the camera and the ship follows the camera. But now you can actually find a ship of the opposing team and go behind it and try to destroy it. So it's actually quite difficult though. But there, he's destroyed. Oh yeah, and you can actually speed up and slow the ship down and even put it in reverse. Shift boost, but right now there's not a lot of visual feedback that you're actually going any faster. The ships behind the scenes have an energy component that is tied to the shots and the boost, but that's not very fleshed out yet. So the way I found these values that I actually like in terms of like the drag of the ship and the speed of the bullets firing is I created a little widget that can control the parameters on the camera. So if I hit O, I get this little camera tweaker widget. And in this, we have quite a few things. We've got the min and max follow distance, so that controls the scroll in and out. We've got the viscosity of the camera, that's controlling the delay that it moves, like this. So if I move up, it takes a second for it to move up. If I move down, it takes a second for it to move down. And we've got the vertical offset factor, which is how far up the camera is compared to the ship. And so now there's a vertical offset, and if we tweak that, we can actually see the effect. So see, this is what it looked like before, and then I added this feature to vertically offset it to about 0.5. We can control the roll speed of the ship. So if you spin the camera around backwards real quick, you can notice that the ship corrects the roll and starts facing up. I did it again. It's actually hard to get it to do it. But I can tweak that speed, so let's turn it down really low and let me look behind. Oh, that was the camera roll speed. Let's change the ship roll speed. So the ship, as you can see, is slowly correcting itself. If I go here and turn up the ship roll speed, it'll correct itself. What else is there? There's crosshair slow down. Roll slow down. Oh yeah, so if you're going slowly, the ship roll will be slow. So what is cool is this fire down cooldown. So I can turn it up and you shoot slower, or I can take it down and you shoot super fast. So this is basically a minigun of a ship, just firing projectiles everywhere. So this viscosity thing is kind of interesting to me. What it does is it essentially takes your crosshair, and when you move, you are taking the vector that the ship is pointing and the new vector that your camera is pointing and seeing how close together they are. And if they are pretty close, we dampen the speed at which the ship turns. So if I just move it barely, you can see the ship slowly turns towards it. If I move it further, the ship turns towards it faster and then slows down. Now, if I go really far, there's a threshold where it just stops the slowdown entirely. So if you're dragging around dogfighting, it will quickly correct and then slow down once it gets pretty close to the crosshair. So that is the basic features. Oh yeah, and there's a little bit of gamification going on. So if we let's see if we find that center debug area. So if you aim at this and you roll the ship, the crosshair actually does not roll, or it actually does a little circle. And so that's not great for aiming. I have made a little gamification that locks the crosshair into its position and forces the ship to be the one that's actually moving. And so hopefully this will make it easier to aim while rolling. I'm going to restart this so I can fix my camera parameters. So let's change it actually to the dogfight brain, and we can see some dogfights happening. And we can participate in them now. It's actually really hard to dogfight at the moment, so I'm going to have to tweak the behavior trees. Probably when an AI is fighting a player, it will change the way that it dogfights. Let's see, I probably won't be able to kill this. It's very difficult. What I can do is help somebody else, though, or die. So let's control somebody. Let's find somebody. Okay. So if I take this guy and possess him, then we can help out our friends. So that was one destroyed. Let's help this guy out. Another one destroyed. Got that one destroyed. It's quite easy to actually help your friends. And it's kind of satisfying when you line up the shots. So, but yeah, I think I will make it so that the AI does a different maneuver. The problem with dogfighting with AI and the player is that you just stay too close together. It's not impossible to win the dogfight, but it's extremely requires a lot of effort because you constantly have to be turning to try to keep close to the AI so the AI can't shoot you, but shoot the AI at the same time. Okay, that I believe is the full update. So I hope that entertained somebody. And next, I think I'm going to be working on the environment so that you can kind of get to feel like you're actually in space.